Good evening. I am Pam Hansenbeck, the chairperson of the Glen Cove IDA. It is now 5:30 p.m. on March 24th, 2022, and we are at City Council Chambers, City Hall, 9 Glen Street, Glen Cove, New York. Tonight, we will be holding a public hearing on the proposed extension of the existing pilot arrangement for Fair Housing Development Corporation, also known as Janet Lane. In a minute, I will ask the IDA council to read the legal notice. But first, I wanted to say a few words about how this hearing will be conducted. After the official notice is read, we have asked the company to make a presentation about the project, the financial assistance requested, and why they believe the financial assistance is required. We have allocated 10 minutes for that presentation. Then we will open up the hearing to the IDA board and representatives of any tax jurisdictions to make comments or to ask questions. We have allotted another 10 minutes for those questions. Finally, and most importantly, we will open up the hearing to the general public for their comments and questions. We have set aside 30 minutes for those comments and questions. Questions about the project may be answered by the company. Questions regarding the IDA process may be answered by our Executive Director, Ann Fangman, and by our counsel, Millen Tyler. Any questions that cannot be answered tonight will be answered as soon as possible and posted on the IDA's website. Lastly, we will hold this public hearing open until March 31st, and people can send their comments to us via email. Okay, Millen, will you please read the public hearing notice?
Happy to, Your Honor. This public hearing is being held pursuant to Section 859A of the General Municipal Law. The purpose of this public hearing is to provide an opportunity for all interested parties to present their views with respect to the Corp project and proposed additional financial assistance. The applicant, Fair Housing Development Fund Corporation, has submitted an application for financial assistance requesting that the agency consider the extension of an existing project consisting of the following. 1. The acquisition of an interest in approximately 6-acre parcel of land located on Janet Lane, City of Glen Cove, Nassau County, New York. Section 21, Block A, lots 514 to 522, the land. 2, the renovation of the existing 27 buildings, collectively building on the land. And 3, acquisition of certain furniture, fixtures, machinery, and equipment necessary for the completion thereof, collectively the project facility. All of the foregoing to continue to be used by the applicant as a low-income, multifamily residential rental facility. And the granting of certain financial assistance within the meaning of Section 854.14 of the General Municipal Law with respect to the foregoing in the form of an amendment and extended exemption or partial exemption from real property taxes. And the lease with an obligation to purchase, license, or sale of the project facility to the applicant or such other entity or entities as may be designated by the applicant and agreed upon by the agency. The project facility would continue to be owned, operated, and or managed by the applicant. Subject to applicable law, copies of the application, including analysis of the costs and benefits of the proposed project, is available for review by the public online at www.glencoveida.org. Click on the public meeting tab. This hearing is being live streamed. This hearing is being live streamed on the agency's website, and the video recording of this public hearing will be posted on the agency's website in accordance with Section 857 of the New York General Municipal Law. With that being said, I'd like to turn the hearing over to the Developers Council, Peter Moore.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, members of the board. My name is Peter Moore. I'm at 393 Old Country Road, Carl Place, New York. And I'm here for Fair Housing Development Fund Corporation, which is a not-for-profit entity that owns Janet Lane. So I appreciate the opportunity to address the board this evening. This is a project that came into being in 1972. There was a pilot done at that time. It was a 4-year pilot that ran with a mortgage on the property as well, a HUD guaranteed mortgage. That pilot expired after the 4 years, the mortgage was paid off. And at that time, We applied for another pilot, received a new pilot. There was a lapse at that time, so between the old pilot and the new pilot, and so the project went onto the tax rolls and paid significantly higher taxes. Most importantly, this is an entity that owns 54 low-income housing units. It might be the only privately owned project of its type in Glen Cove, other than the housing authority. So what we're trying to do is really the reason for the pilot is to be able to preserve the low-income nature of the housing and to keep good low-income housing in Glen Cove. Without the pilot, the taxes would increase significantly, and along with the rents. The only revenue that this not-for-profit receives are the rents from the tenants. So any increase in taxes or any costs whatsoever have to be passed on to the tenants because there is no other income in the form of rents. And this would cause what is very affordable housing to become much less affordable and possibly cause these 50-some-odd families to have to find somewhere else to live. So, unlike many pilots that are for private entities, this is actually it is a private entity, but it's a not-for-profit. So it's a not-for-profit entity where the benefit will go directly to the tenants of the project, which are obviously Glen Cove residents, and there are families that have been there for many, many years. So really the nature of the pilot is so that we can continue this low-income housing in Glen Cove. So if there are any questions from the board, I know the board is familiar with the project. Obviously, I'm happy to answer any questions whatsoever.
Thank you, Peter. Good evening. My name is Ann Fangman. I'm the Executive Director of the Glen Cove Industrial Development Agency. I'd like to ask if our chairperson or any other members of the board have any questions for the applicant tonight. Any questions for us? Okay. Hearing none, I will turn this over to Chairperson Hansenbeck to please close out the hearing and to go over our next steps. Thank you.
Thank you all for your participation. I think this has fostered meaningful dialogue as I had hoped that it would. As I mentioned, if anyone has any other questions or comments, please send them between now and March 31st at 5 p.m. to the IDA at 9 Glen Street, Glen Cove, New York, 11542, or by email to afangman@glencovecda.org. The time is now 5:40 p.m. Thank you again and good night.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.